All right, hello guys. I just want to briefly talk about this subject of the people, especially black people, who want to push fear on black women. And I'm not even talking about the guys at this point because I mean they have exposed themselves for so long. It's really no need for me to talk about what they're doing at this point. But I was I saw one of my recommendations, and I don't even watch this lady's videos. But when you get a lot of this lady's videos, but when you get a lot of likes and views, sometimes their recommendations pop up. Excuse me. Sometimes their recommendations pop up. And one young lady video popped up talking about the tragedy of, I guess, some black woman was killed who was in a relationship, a marriage with a white man. I didn't click on the video, so I just saw the thumbnail of a I didn't click on the video, so I just saw the thumbnail of a black woman um in a picture with a white man. And so when she says the tragedy of so and so, where she's been having a habit of uploading those kind of videos, now I do find it interesting that she doesn't do this when black men are killed and lynched for dealing with white women, but she continues to push the fear on the black women. But this is what I want to talk about because I don't want to get into criticizing this lady. Because I mean, of course, what they're doing is annoying, but I'm past the point of being frustrated with this, and here's why. Because we are approaching 2019, it is November, and by this time, if black women I know some can, but if black women cannot believe their own experiences, if black women cannot believe what the CDC says, that's why people talk about, well, nobody talks about black women. Yes, they do. Okay, Google domestic violence in black women and Google and Successful Ladies Live. I had to give credit to her for the gun memorial, even though I did an audio on that, a video on that earlier this year. It was kind of inspired by her talking about it. And then the STD rates, the molestation rapes, just the rapes, period, the crime. If black women right now cannot be convinced about what they see with their own eyes, their own perception, because you can only go by your own perception, you can't go by anybody else's. Who's to say the other person's going to be right? But what I'm saying is that if it's almost 2019, and if they cannot be convinced at this point of their own experiences, not somebody trying to shove it down their throat, then they don't need to be with anybody. I know, several women, including me, I've done it too, have just encouraged black women to expand their options. But I'm gonna tell you something. If a woman can just push these videos like this young lady, because I guess she got a black boyfriend, and she wants to push videos telling black women not to date outside their race because I guess she got a black boyfriend. I'm not really sure because I don't watch her videos, but I do see the thumbnail, and I can pretty much guess what it's going to be about because they've been pushing that fear mongering lately on black women. But my point is that they should not have that kind of control over the psyches of black women. And if it's that easy for somebody to keep showing videos of black women who were killed by white men, but then completely ignore what happens amongst the black people, because I'm not going to call it the black community anymore. If they can't be convinced out of all this stuff that's on the media, because I'm going to tell you something about the media. The media pushes, one thing the media does is they don't slow down on showing how heinous black people are. But see, what a lot of these ladies do is that they say, oh, the media is making it worse than it is. Oh, no, they're not. These people are bad. I'm going to tell you why, because I hardly watch the news. But when I was living in California and some of my patients were in South Central and different places, they would tell me the same thing the news would say. Okay, they would tell me about the crimes, they would tell me about the killings. So this is not just the news. So the news actually pushes what's really happening in a lot of black neighborhoods more than these ladies are on YouTube pushing this fear in interracial dating. Okay, so if black women by this time cannot see that it's their own, it's people who look just like them who are their biggest killers, if they cannot see that by now, they don't need to be with anybody. They just don't need to date because they are sick in the head. You're sick in the head that somebody can upload a video and sound convincing and talk you out of your destiny, whatever that might be, because you never know what package the person might come in. And it could be, I'm not big on just, counting anybody out. I know that we're getting to a point where it's time to eliminate a certain group of men, though. I know we're getting to that point because it's getting worse and worse. But still, each individual person, you never know how the package may come when it comes to a man, okay? But with that said, that out of everything that you've seen, out of all of the statistics that most of these ladies know about, even though some women are not awake, most of them have been informed of the statistics of the domestic violence. The CDC has talked about it. The STDs. Oh my goodness, the transgender and homosexual. I mean, black men ain't keeping that no secret. They not keeping it a secret that it's a growing transgender homosexuality, bisexual trend. Okay, Atlanta is deemed the gayest, one of the gayest cities. Okay, so if they cannot be convinced, and by the way, a lot of these ladies they would rather date a homosexual black man than date a straight non-black man. That's just how desperate they've gotten. And what I'm saying is, a lot of these ladies, when they get to that point, they don't need to be with anybody. They need to be alone. They need to heal. I mean, of course, therapy, but they need to clear out their mind. They need to clear out and see what's wrong with their head. But the problem is these ladies don't understand that they have a problem. They don't get it. And so they need to stay right where they are, because if they cannot be convinced out of everything that's been exposed, Walter Lee Hampton, this other guy who exposes these married black guys that's cheating on their wives on social media, Facebook. So gay black men expose other black men too. And this book is Marriage for White People, that's gone around for a long time. Ralph Richard Banks, a lot of black women have heard about that. So now they can't even listen to it when a black man tell them. Okay, they don't need to be with anybody. Something is seriously wrong with them. So I don't get mad at these pro-black ladies who get on social media trying to push this fear-monger agenda, trying to convince black women not to expand their options. Because after everything that's been exposed, and it's almost 2019, if black, and I'm talking about a lot of black women, I know some are convinced, but if a lot of these black women can't be convinced after everything that's been exposed by so many people, including ABC News, because they talk about statistics too about how the black women chances of dating black men because they outnumber them. They even showed that on ABC News. So you have non-black people who are aware of this that are not even in the black community, you know? And if they cannot be convinced of everything and everybody who has tried to expose this information to them, because trust me, there's been way more information that's been exposed to tell the truth to these ladies than what these little pro-black ladies can push, because they don't even get hundreds of thousands of views on their videos when they do this. But ABC, they get millions, okay? And they talked about black women chances of being with a black man, when every black woman is trying to be with a black man. ABC has talked about that, okay? And you have other shows, having black women exploring the options on top of YouTube, right? And so with that being said, that's all I have to say right now. But I just encourage these ladies, don't get upset, with these ladies when they say another one bites the dust. I know they attack and swirlers, but at this point, I think they are zombies. I think they need life force. I think they need to get people's attention, to get angry, because I think they are out of life force at this point. I just think they're all depleted, and they need to make these videos to get you upset, to get your energy from you. And so don't give it up. They want to give their energy and their life force to these guys. So be it. Let them shrivel up. Let all the energy leave them until they shrivel up, because they don't need to get anything else from anybody else. But No, mainstream media has exposed the truth to these ladies far more than what these little pro-black ladies can do on YouTube. But the problem is these ladies, they're severely ill. It's not these pro-black women who are pushing this, that's really convincing these ladies, is that these ladies have been sick a long time and they need to just be somewhere and heal. That's what they need to do. Whichever way they see fit to do it, they need to go somewhere and heal. They don't need to date anybody, not a black man, not a white man, not a Mexican, or whoever. They don't need to date because they're seriously sick in the head. And with that being said, I will talk to you soon.